Hi, Sanford Strong here. Congratulations. By buying this tape, you've demonstrated that you know how important it is to help teach your children the survival mindset that one day may save their lives. This special edition video not only contains all of my child crime survival course, but it also contains a parent's extra. It's brand new information. No one's seen it yet. It can only be had in this video that you bought. You'll learn how to role play with some what-if drills, and then later a special Babes in Arms section. And I'm real proud of that section, Babes in Arms, because it's brand new. It teaches you how to protect your infant or toddler in case a crime goes down, and they're with you.
Sanford Strong's recommendations to take specific action in the face of violent crime are recommendations only, and although based on his 20 years of law enforcement experience, do not guarantee a successful result.
Thanks for joining me. The most important decisions in our lives involve our children. These are the critical life or death decisions that stop us cold, well us up with tears. These are the ones we'll make tonight. 30 seconds of smooth talk from a piece of scum, molester, child killer, is all it takes to get that child of yours off to an isolated spot with that man who will destroy your life. And just in case you're worried about, will this show upset you and your child? Maybe, but I guarantee this. Folks, it's going to be a lot less upsetting to deal with it now, ahead of time, than to wait till later and hope it doesn't happen. I've made those calls at 3 a.m. Folks, before a man like me makes that call to you, you need to talk to your children about crime and not put it off anymore. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that tonight. Please get your kids right now. Watch this as a family. What I'd like for you to do tonight, at home too, please, is to view this entire show as a laboratory. The kind of lab where I'll teach you how to teach your kids. Not too long ago, I had the opportunity to spend some time with a fantastic, in fact, their word would be awesome, group of kids. They were wonderful. You're going to see them, and me with them. We'll start with abduction of children. Is that your greatest fear? I know it is. Watch. Our program tonight is real important. It's about you, boys and girls. And it's about men who hurt boys and girls. It's about men who abduct boys and girls. Abduction is when someone grabs a boy or girl. Charity, it would be like if you were walking down the street and I was in a car like this, just like this, and you were walking down the street and I were to get you to get close to me in the car and I would grab you. And if I were to grab you and take you into the car like this, and then if I were to drive off, is that the same as abduction? Mm-hmm. That's abduction, isn't it? Okay, thanks, Charity. Get over there. Thanks. Criminals do two things always. They always try to trick you. Yes, hey, Jared. Pardon me?
And lie to you.
That's right, Jared, thanks. And they lie to you. We're going to watch our first film. Okay, let's watch this.
Honey, we gotta go. Come on. Your mom's been in a car accident. She was hurt right up the street. The police sent me, okay?
She's been what?
She's been hurt. The police sent me, honey. We really need to
Who
go.
are you?
I'm a friend. I just live right up the street. The police sent me. We need to go, okay?
That was a big, dangerous mistake, wasn't it? Has your mom and dads ever told you never go with a stranger?
Mm-hmm.
But is it sometimes a little difficult, a little hard to tell, well, who's a stranger and who's not? I want you to take a quiz. Who's the stranger? Laura?
The one in the bottom.
The bottom right here. Jeremy, who's the stranger?
All of them.
Jeremy is right when he said all of them, because Just because they're dressed nicely and one of them isn't, just because one of them isn't smiling but the others are smiling, they're all strangers, aren't they? Yeah. We have a rule. Listen carefully. Strangers are sometimes the nicest people you'll ever meet or know, but you still don't really know them. Now, remember that little girl that went away with that man because he said her mother was hurt in an accident? There's something that little girl could have done. She should have done it. Watch.
Honey, I got some bad news. Your mom's been in an accident.
She's what?
She's in a car accident. She was hurt pretty bad. You need to come with me, okay? Come on.
Well, who are you?
I'm a neighbor. I just live right up the street. The police sent me.
My mom says a policeman has to be here.
Police are with your mom, okay? You need to come with me.
No, I want sex.
That's the right thing. Good for her. When that little girl, right there, said, "No, I can only go with a uniformed police officer." Wow. This is real important. The only person that you can ever go anywhere with who isn't your mother or dad or someone who is a part of your family is a uniformed police officer. That's a police officer in uniform from your city, and he has to have, listen carefully, a police car there with him. Remember we said earlier that criminals, they'll always trick you and they'll lie to you? All right, I want you to see another way criminals trick and lie, and this time it's going to be to a couple of boys. Now watch this.
Hi, boys, how you doing? Listen, you guys interested in earning some extra money?
Sure.
I've got some boxes back here I could sure use your help carrying. I've kind of hurt my back, and I could really use your help. I could pay you $20.
$20? Yeah, come on, man. $20. We can get a new football. Come on, let's go. $20.
Come on, guys.
Oh no, this is so sad. You know what he did, really? He tricked them so he could lure them back behind a building, didn't he? I just used a new word. I used the word lure. Does anyone know what lure means? Yes, Sarah.
Get them to go with him.
To get them to go with them somewhere. That's real good. A man who's tricking you, he's actually trying to lure you back to another spot. Now, we're going to watch this again, but this time we're going to see the right way. Watch it this time again.
I've got some boxes back here around the corner I could sure use your help with. I've kind of hurt my back, and, well, I could offer you $20. What do you say?
Come on, $20, yeah. I mean, I think we could get $20. Let's get out of here.
Guys, hey, guys.
You know something? This makes me feel good because this little boy right here is so lucky, isn't he? Because he was going to go, wasn't he? Yeah, he was so lucky to have a friend who didn't fall for the trick. This young man right here, you know what he is? You ever heard the word leader? He's the one who had the right answer, and he wouldn't let his buddy go because he knew it was wrong. I'll bet this young man here, his mother and dad said never go with anyone, and so did this one, but only one of them remembered it. Now, we're going to watch another lure. This one is so common. It happens a lot.
Hi, how are you? Hey, could you help me? I've lost my dog. I am so sad. I've looked everywhere, but her name is Molly. Isn't she cute? Do you know what? She loves little girls. Do you think you could help me call her? And maybe she'd come if you called? Molly?
Sure.
We'll just go over and...
Listen, real carefully. You know something? Grown-up men don't ask little boys and girls, children, for help. Does that make sense to you? If a man, a grown-up, really needed help, he would ask who? They'd ask another grown-up. Now we're going to watch it again and see what you should do. Watch this.
Her name is Molly. Isn't she cute? Do you know what? She loves little girls. Do you think you could come with me and help me call her? Maybe she'd come to you.
sorry, but I'm not supposed to go anywhere with strangers. Mommy, Mommy!
That little girl wasn't tricked, and she wasn't tricked because she followed the rule that she and her family had, right? She didn't let herself be lured. Criminals do two things to children. We use these two new words. They abduct them, and sometimes they lure them away. But they always lie, don't they? I want you all to look right here. Everyone here and at home, moms and dads, this little girl is right under this mom's wing. But this little girl was gone. Because this mom, she was there, but she wasn't watching, was she? She was taken up with talking to a friend. At home, here, there are child molesters who frequent places where children are regularly, preying upon our kids. And what makes me the angriest is that almost all of them are on parole. Reminds me of a case a few years back, a soccer field. 6-year-old little girl, abducted, found a few days later, raped, mutilated, dead. The detectives gather all the film from all the parents to view it, to try to identify maybe there's a convicted child molester. They got the man and convicted him. But they also found something else that was bone-chilling, folks. There were 5 other convicted on parole child molesters there also that day, watching. We got to change this. The missing link in all what-if programs, all that I've ever seen, is role play. Role play creates life experiences for kids. Life experiences that a 7-year-old can't possibly be expected to have. They've been on this earth only 7 years. All the what-ifs in this program are designed for you to prompt role play in your family. Watch this first one.
Sweetheart, could you come here for just a minute? I'm trying to find 30 Prairie Avenue. You know where that is?
I know, boys and girls. Sure, he looks nice. But what if this happened to you? First of all, parents, ask yourself and then your children, do grown-ups normally ask children for directions? They ask other adults. They ask cops. Boys and girls, this is what you should do instead of going over next to the car. Watch.
Hey, sweetheart, can you come here for just a minute? I'm trying to find 30 Prairie Avenue. You know where that is?
Oh, it's 4 blocks down that way.
I don't know anything about this area, darling. Could you come with me, show me where it is, please?
No thanks.
Sweetheart, come here. Sweetheart.
Perfect. But would it have been rude to just run? What if she hadn't stepped back as she did, and instead she just took off? There's nothing wrong with that, especially parents if you've already asked your children or told them, normal adults don't stop and ask children for directions. But if you went to the car anyway, let's do that what if. If your child went to the car, watch what could happen.
Sweetheart, could you come here for just a minute? I'm trying to find 30 Prairie Avenue. Do you know where that is?
Sure,
Too
it's
close.
just 4 blocks
Too
down
close. There.
Ow! Ow! Help! Let me go! Let me go! Ah! Help! Help! Let me out!
I hope that terrorizes you or watching it. I've had crime cases like it. That little girl just made a dangerous mistake, boys and girls. If you did that, if you went up and made that bad mistake, you'd still have one last chance, and that would be to gouge that driver's eyes. I know it sounds extreme, but it is a bottom line last chance, because at the end of the line, crime scene number 2 is ahead of that little girl. Watch this next example.
No! Hey, quit!
Stop it!
There, she did it. All right, now. A minute ago, I used the word gouge. I didn't say jab, but I didn't say poke. I said gouge. I mean 4 fingers just into a person's eyes. Right now, all of you, boys and girls, moms and dads, I know what's going through your minds. You're all thinking, oh, yuck. God, it's just awful. I can't even imagine thinking about that. 1, extreme danger requires extreme reaction. Moms and dads, if you were in that car, could you gouge the eyes of that driver to save you and your child? You're damn right you could. You're not going to be there in that car, I'll guarantee it, if you don't teach your child how to explode for herself. And you. She won't do it. That's her last chance. Now here's another what if. This little girl is going to be at a regular lunch spot. Boys and girls, watch what she does. A stranger comes up. Nice, but he's still a stranger.
What are you doing? Mind if I share this bench with you? Sure is a pretty place, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah? You like to come here with your friends a lot?
This man right here, boys and girls, is a real nice acting man. But look how he's looking at this little girl, parents. Remind your boys and girls, your children, adults do not normally sit down and talk to little girls like that. We've talked already a few times about strangers, and you know he's a stranger, even though he's nice. We've also talked about leaving right away, and that it's not being rude. Watch what this little girl does right now.
Come here a lot?
Pretty often.
Yeah, it's a pretty place, isn't it? You know, I got a daughter who looks a lot like you. Real pretty.
Excuse me.
Absolutely. And did you also see how this jerk got up and left? Boys and girls, I want to give you a rule. Your moms and dads may not even know it right now. So all of you together as a family, I want you to pay close attention right now. My safety first. His feelings second. That little girl got up from here when he was being nice and talking to her, but he's a stranger, and it made her feel uneasy. She got up and left anyway. That's important, boys and girls. She didn't run into the park. She ran to another person, in this case, especially best of all, a woman with another little girl. Parents, tell your children, if they ever have to run away because they have a bad feeling, to, if they can, run to another woman, and especially if that woman has a child with them. This next what-if scenario is the one that gets me right here. It angers me. It's about a man who impersonates a cop. It angers me because, not that people do it, it's always going to be that way. It angers me because I know how easy it is to get by the guard, especially of children. When a man flips a badge at someone and says, I'm a police officer, come with me. I've been at those crime scenes. The stakes are real high, folks. Unfortunately, the solutions are pretty simple. Watch this first go through.
Put your bike away and I'll call you for dinner when it's ready, okay?
Oh, okay.
Do you live here?
Yes.
I'm a police officer's son. There's been a crime in the area, and I need you to come with me so I can ask you a couple questions.
A crime?
Yeah. It won't take long. I need you to come with me.
I guess it'll be okay.
Come on, let's go.
Boys and girls, that's a dangerous mistake. You saw that man, all he did was to say he was a police officer, and because this little boy was so awed with authority and wanted to obey him, he did what he said. But he didn't have on a police uniform. Moms and dads, listen to this closely. It's imperative. It's never go with anyone unless it's a parent or a family member. No strangers ever, no matter if they show you a badge, unless that person has on a police uniform and has a squad car right there in sight, or a fireman with a fire truck right there in sight. Parents, Show kids. Take the time. It's a little bit of the role play I asked you earlier to go through. The police uniforms that are indigenous to the area that you live in, and also the police cars, the color of the police truck. Some of them are yellow, some of them are red. Never go with anyone unless they're in that uniform and that car or truck is there. Remember the hard line rule, and it's hard line. Now watch this next one when he does it the right way.
You live here?
Yes.
I'm a police officer, son. There's been a crime in the area, and I need you to come with me so I can ask you a couple questions.
No, I can't. My mom said not to go with anyone unless there's a policeman in his uniform.
This badge says I'm a police officer. I've got a squad car around the corner. I'll radio a police officer in uniform for you. Come on, let's go. I need you to come with me.
No.
I'll arrest you.
Mom!
Perfect. You see, this jerk took off. I was a cop for 20 years. It's real rare that a man would come into a neighborhood, or anywhere for that matter, plain clothes like that, flash a badge, and be a real cop and ask them to go with him. They just don't act that way. It doesn't happen. And boys and girls, if this man had said, okay, come with me and I'll call for a uniformed police officer, still no. It's not what he says he's going to do, parents. Boys and girls, it's not what he promises you. It's what he shows you right here. Is he in uniform or not? In the next what if, it's a real common lure, very common. Watch.
Jenny! Jenny!
Bye.
Hey! I'm a friend of your father's.
Oh.
Do you remember me at the party?
No.
I remember you. You go to school around here, don't you?
Yeah, right around the corner.
Your father said if I ever saw you around here to show you my brand new Corvette.
Your Corvette?
Yeah, you want to see it?
I'd love to.
It's right over here. Come on, let's go see it.
Boys and girls, that's one of the most common lures, to show them something really special. And they'll always choose something like a Corvette in this case that they know kids are interested in seeing. Moms and dads, boys and girls, entire family, you've heard me talk about it already a few times. What's ahead of this little girl? She's going to go with this man. He may or may not have a Corvette. And then they're headed to crime scene number 2. And that's the end of the line. This man's an actor, moms and dads. And he was real good, wasn't he? And that's just how good these scum are. They're practiced. Most of them are on parole. Boys and girls, just because someone knows your name, they're still a stranger. Remember that. Parents, this could be avoided. This simple, watch.
It's just like,
No name,
it's just like.
on his way.
What do you mean?
In this world, we need more privacy. And that starts at home. With something as simple as not having a name clearly visible for a piece of scum like this to break through the guard and the protection that you form around your children when you talk to them. And role play will help. It's the missing link, remember? It creates life experience. There are a ton of guns in the United States, lots. There are 2 reasons, though, we've got a problem with guns in the United States. One is that there are too many guns in too many criminals' hands. That's the major problem. The second part of the problem, especially as it applies to our children, is that our kids are not educated with guns. I don't mean, hear this closely, educated in how to use guns. I'm talking about educated in how to protect themselves and survive an attack by a man who has a gun. We wind up being so petrified as parents over guns, we stop talking about them, and therefore we have kids that have no idea of how to protect themselves. In this next section, watch me teach children about bolt and run. All right, here we go. And we're going to talk about guns. Are you ready for this? Have Have any of you ever had a gun in your hands? Huh? No?
Yeah.
Okay. Be quiet. Listen real carefully. This is a gun that's used on television sets. It's an exact replica of a real gun. It's used for television. You know what's sad? A lot of criminals have guns. You have to be ready in case an armed robbery. You know what an armed robbery is? It's the same as a stick-up. Have you ever heard that? Huh? Or hold-up? Watch.
Hey, man, you got change for $1?
Oh my goodness.
Shut up.
Now, right now, it's getting real dangerous for this kid, isn't it? If they want your money, give it to them. Is that okay? I mean, it's nothing worth keeping. Are you agree with me, Michael? I mean, give it to them right now, everything they want, and then you need to run. Bolt and run. Let's talk about why. When he has the gun out, like this, and he puts it up to you like this, whether he's real close or he's a long way off. Is this a scary thing to talk about? Yeah. Because you've read about people who are like this who are killed. The most important thing for you to realize is that you're still in a place that is public. Even though this little boy is around the corner, he's still in a public place, isn't he? He isn't taken somewhere like a long way off where people can't hear. The bolt and run reason is this. You give the property, he has everything he wants, bolt and run, go, right now, get out of there. All right, now let's watch him do that. Watch.
Hey, man, you got change for $1?
Oh my goodness.
Shut up. Don't say a word. Give me your money before I blow your head off, okay? Hurry up. Hurry up. Hurry up.
He did the right thing, didn't he? If you have already given the money to him and you bolt and run, then that man, and he shoots at you, then he wasn't just a thief, was he?
He's a murderer.
He's a murderer, that's right. What I want you to do now is consider something. Running away, it's not wimpy. In fact, only geeks, you ever heard that word? Only geeks would stay and fight, wouldn't they? And fight for their money. Now watch this next one. This time this boy does it wrong. Watch.
Hey, man,
Watch
you got change
closely.
for $1?
No. See what you doing?
Shut up. Give me your money or I'll kill you. I'll put a bullet right through your head. Give me your money. Hey. Hey. Man.
Okay, now listen. What did that little boy do wrong? He fought back, Lisa, that's right. Keela, what did he do wrong?
He kept asking questions.
He kept asking questions and he wouldn't give the money up. That's right. You know what's really sad right here? Is that little boy tried to keep his money and it wasn't worth it. Listen, really strong boys and girls. I don't mean big. I don't mean boys who are big or girls who are have a lot of muscle. I mean boys and girls who are just strong in their mind. They know that trying to keep the money is just not worth it, isn't it? It's just not worth it. Being strong, smart, and brave is so crucial. Please, here at home, please educate your children, especially your teenagers. We've all left our kids home alone, haven't we? And felt uneasy about it. It's okay if they're old enough and under certain circumstances. It's not that we can't ever do it, but it still leaves us feeling real uneasy about it, doesn't it? Okay, let's watch.
Yeah.
Let me see the hands of everyone who's ever been home alone and afraid. It's really scary. Have you ever wondered what you might do if you're home alone, if someone comes to the door? Never really thought about it? Okay, good. Now we're going to show you what to do if someone comes to your door. Watch this. boy and girl, brother and sister, home.
Who's that? I don't know. Go get it. No, you get it. Just sit down.
Hello? Hello, I need help. Hello?
Who is it?
Yes, my wife and I have been in a terrible accident and I need to call 911. She's bleeding. I need your help.
What?
My wife and I have been in a terrible accident. She's bleeding. I need your help, please. I just need to call. My wife's bleeding bad. Where's the phone?
Are you worried? I'm worried too.
Here's the phone.
Why don't you sit down?
Oh,
sit down.
look at what he's got.
Be quiet.
Look what he's got.
Move over there. Move over there.
That little boy and his sister, they're in big trouble, aren't they? What a dangerous mistake. Crooks try all kinds of ways to trick you. The way this man tricked this boy and girl is he told them what? That his wife had been in an accident, was bleeding. That's right, Lisa. But there's a lot of other things that people do. Watch how they try to trick their way into a house.
Petals, Flores, we got some flowers for you.
Flowers.
Hey, honey, it's Mike. I'm an old friend of your dad's. I'm in town for a few days. I came by to surprise him.
Hello? I'm with the phone company, and there's some trouble in the area. I need to get in and check your line. Could you please open up and let me in?
Hi, I'm in the area selling some great magazines, and I got a free gift for you. Can I come in and show you what I got?
He was a creepy looking one, wasn't he? They are all what? Strangers. Because it doesn't matter what they say, they are not people that you know really well. Is that right? Yes, Heather.
When somebody comes to your door and they're acting like they're really nice.
And they're acting like they're really
luring
nice.
you to answer the door, they're just luring you to abduction.
Heather said this. I'm going to say it again for you. You tell me if I got it right. When they're being really nice, they're just luring you into abduction, right? You know what you're doing, Heather? You're using two new words, aren't you? Good for you, girl. We're going to watch the right way for this young man to, when a person comes to his door, we'll watch the right way. Here we go.
Hello? Hello?
Same man. I bet he has the same
Yes,
line.
I need to. Can you help me? I've been in a car wreck. My wife's bleeding. I need to use the phone.
I'm not supposed to let anybody in the house.
She could die. I need to get in.
I'll call 911 for you.
No, let me in. You're gonna get in trouble if you don't let me in. You know it's a crime if you don't let me in. Come on, open the door.
I told you I'd call for you.
Come on, open the door.
I'll call for you. I'm not supposed to let anybody in the house.
Is that perfect? Yes. Was that awesome? Huh? Was that just right? He just went away. Don't let anyone lie to you and make you change your rules. Never. You ever heard anyone say, you ever heard your mom and dad say, trust your instincts, honey? You ever heard that? Instincts are nothing different than feelings, bad feelings, that make you afraid or confused. So, we learned something now. Yes, Kelsey?
When we're like home and our parents aren't there, they just tell us to not answer the door or the phone.
Kelsey, that's coming up. Let's watch this.
Hello?
Hi, is your mom or dad home?
No, they'll be back in about a couple hours.
Great. Tell them Jim called.
Okay.
What did she do wrong? Go tell me, Heather.
She told them that they would be home in a couple of hours.
And that told him that she was home alone. Yes, Vanessa.
Because he may have looked up different phone numbers in a book and in a phone book, and the phone book has the address and the phone number.
Did everyone hear what Vanessa said? Vanessa, that was very sharp. I want to say it again because it's very good. If he looked at did it from the phone book, now he knows. Say it again, Vanessa.
He knows her address.
That's exactly right. Now this time, watch what she does and it's right. Watch this time.
Hello?
Hi, is your mom or dad home?
They're both here, but they're kind of busy right now. Can I take a message?
No message.
Was that right that time? Yeah. That's exactly right. Now the next thing we're going to do is a lot scarier than what we've been talking about alone during the day. The next thing we're going to talk about is an intruder. That's a new word for some of you. An intruder is not a burglar. An intruder is extremely dangerous. This is very serious here. An intruder comes into a home when people are there. Now watch this. Did you hear the noise?
Mickey, did you hear that? There it is again. Do you hear that? Yeah, let's go. Let's go in the closet. Come on. Come on, go.
Well, what do we have here?
They're trapped, aren't they? Trapped in a closet. That was a dangerous thing they did. I want to give you all a rule, and I want you to talk about it to your mom and dad later. If you know an intruder is in the house like that, you can hear them walking or knocking something off over, don't hide in the house. What should you do?
Try to get out.
Try to get out. Now I want to ask you something else. Just a second, Lisa. Do you have an escape plan for your family? It's so important to have an escape plan. Watch how their plan is real different. Watch this. Same house, but a different plan.
Mickey, do you know there's somebody in the house? There it is again. Come on, let's go next door. Come on. Come on. Intruder! 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 Intruder!
Okay, what was she yelling? Intruder. That was that new word we learned. Are we all together on this? Forget hiding in the house. He'll probably find you anyway. The most important thing to do is what, Brian? Get out of the house right away. It's so important because when an intruder is in the house, they might even be able to corner you. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Okay. That escape plan is real serious. Will you make certain that you ask your mom and dad to talk to you about an escape plan from your house? Okay? Folks, please, your family needs an escape plan. I lay it out in my book and video step by step. Whether you get it from me or someone else, you need a private way for you and your family to establish an escape plan. Folks, at home, I'm not a psychologist, not even a counselor. My training's not in that field, and I don't pretend for it to be. I am a man who's been around a lot of crooks and a lot more victims. A lot of them were young molest victims. What I'm asking you, as moms and dads, be matter of fact with your children. Talk to them in a very straightforward way. They can take it. They hunger for it. They'll love it. It's vital for their safety. Watch, please. The next thing we're going to talk about, and the pictures you're going to see, is going to be something that we started talking about in the very beginning when we talked about strangers. Remember that? Remember we discussed strangers that mom and dad and members of our family, they're family. But there are other people who you know their names, and you're around them once in a while, like maybe once or twice a week, but they're still what?
Strangers.
But once in a while, a person who you know just a little bit can wind up turning what? Bad. Turning bad, right? Okay, now molesters are people, they do what? They hurt you, and what else, Heather?
They take you, and they're acting like they're nice, but they take you and they hurt you.
They take you and they hurt you, they're acting nice, and they touch spots that are only you can. All right, I want you to watch this next one. Watch this real closely.
Great, that is wonderful.
Thank you.
You are so talented. You know, you're probably one of the most talented ones I have in all of my groups. You know that? You're going to be famous. And you're very pretty, too. Very, very pretty. You're probably one of the most prettiest girls that I have in all of my classes.
Oh, that makes me so mad. Does it make you mad? Yeah. No one. That's just a little girl. That's right, Lisa. No one has permission to touch you, no matter who they are, do they?
hug you, kiss you. He's taking really advantage of her, isn't he? And she probably knows his name, and she's probably with him maybe a couple times a week, but he's still what?
Stranger.
And if he was a nice person, he would never touch her. He would never touch her hair and do that, would he? No. Because that's not part of teaching her music, is it? You know what a boss is? Yes. He's in charge. She's in charge. I want you to remember this, and I want you to say it to me right now. Who's the boss of your body?
Me.
Say it. I'm the boss of my body.
I'm the boss of my body.
No one can touch it. Is that right?
Right.
And if someone does, doesn't matter who they are. You're the boss. You don't have to do anything, do you? You should do what? You should. Okay, let's watch what this little girl does this time. She'll do it right, I bet. Watch.
Great. That is wonderful.
Thank you.
You are so talented. You're probably one of the most talented ones I have in all of my classes. You're going to be famous someday, and you're very pretty, too.
No! Don't you touch me!
She didn't waste any time. Did she do it right this time? Who was the boss this time?
She was.
It wasn't this jerk, was it?
No.
He's a criminal. It was who?
Her.
She was the boss because she said no, and she didn't wait for him to stop. She didn't say no and then go right back to playing a piano or go back to doing anything else or talking. What did she do right away? She ran away because that's the end of it, isn't it? You wouldn't want to be around that person anymore. You're the boss, all right? Now listen, I want you to watch it again. Because I'm a police officer, I know what criminals are going to say. They do it all the time. Watch it again and watch what he tells her.
Now, Cindy, you know you can't say anything to your parents about anything that happened today, right? Otherwise, I might not be able to be your piano teacher anymore, and then you won't be famous, okay?
She's really sad, isn't she? And she's probably embarrassed. It wasn't her fault. But she didn't have in her something that said, I'm the boss, did she? Can you see what that could never happen to you now? Because who's the boss? All right. Who should you tell first, always? Your parents, exactly. It's so important, okay? You know why he doesn't want her to tell? He didn't want her to tell because he's afraid. He's afraid of people like me who would get it. You saw it. Children can deal with molest, especially if you deal with them upfront, matter of fact. I need to tell you a story that happened here a few weeks ago. When the producer, before I arrived, was filming the recreations, there was a little girl, just as nice and cute as the little girl you just saw. She was chosen to be the little actress for this piano teacher scenario you just saw. But when she knew what she was going to be doing, she couldn't do it. Her mom talked to her. She was upset. She just couldn't do it. She went home. Another actress, this one, was chosen. The next day, everyone on this crew learned the reason she couldn't do it is her music teacher was molesting her. And it just brought it too close to her. But finally, at least, something came out of what took place during casting that day. She went home and talked to her mom. So at least something good is now on its way to happening. In this next section, I'm going to cover something with you that's never been covered before, anywhere, in any form of written or video material, when your babes are with you in your arms. I teach in 14 countries and throughout the United States and have done since I retired in 1986. It doesn't matter where I go. One of the most important and often asked questions is, what about when I'm with my child, a toddler, 1-year-old, in my arms,
My arms are full of something else. I feel so vulnerable. I feel like there's nothing really I could do to protect my child. Well, this is not now about the children's mindset that I'm asking you to form when you go through a role play with your children. This is about moms, dads too, your mindset. Watch this first one. Load it down, Mom. There it goes. Moms, your worst nightmare, no doubt about it. A gun like this pointed at you. This thing is terrifying, there's no doubt about it. I know, I've been on both ends of guns. But your mindset has got to be on your child. Your fear of this gun is real, but your fear for your child and your mindset of what you must do has got to be on the child, not on this gun. The rules are the same for you, with or without a baby. Just as you've heard me already say in the past. It's bolt and run. Give the property right away. Give it to him immediately. Keys for the car as well. Bolt and run. Bottom line, if this guy's a psycho and he shoots at this running woman after giving all the property to him, at least it's in a public spot, crime scene number 1. She's not at crime scene number 2. Watch this.
Do what I say! Give me the money!
My baby!
The odds are still in her favor because she's in a public place. By odds, I don't mean that there's no danger, but the odds are still in her favor to not be abducted and also to not be shot at. Now, we're going to take it a step further. I'm going to be worsening this as we go through this process of the babes in your arms section. Your kid now, in the next section, will already be in the car seat, making it even more difficult for you to save your child. Watch. Into the car seat. This little guy's going through a little bit, isn't he? Here comes Jerk.
Do what I say! Give me the money! Give me the money!
Look at her mindset. Look at her mindset is, it wasn't fear of gun. It was push him, give him the stuff, I don't care what he's got, and she takes off. She did no talking, she did no arguing, she did nothing, but you almost see her mind, get him away from me so I can get my child out of here and gone. That comes only from a mindset focused on a child and what I'm going to do if something happens to me. Okay, now, next. What if she had been forced into the car? Watch.
Get in the car! Get in the car!
He was successful. He got her in the car. She's driving.
Get out that window!
But her mindset, can you see? It's end it now. The crucial part right here, moms and dads, is that she recognized, I'm still in a public spot. I have to do something extreme, just like you saw me earlier talk to you about the little girl who'd been stopped by the man who wanted directions to gouge his eyes. Bottom line, if a car is involved and you're being dragged into the car, forced to drive, or he's driving, it doesn't make any difference. A car crime involving an abduction, you're headed to crime scene number 2, always. Your last chance is to force a crash. You have no other choice. And a gouging of the eye is the only real sure way to force a crash. Grabbing steering wheels doesn't work. Now the next scenario, the last one in this particular series, worsens yet. Watch.
Sit up and just drive! Drive! Sit up!
Gun to her head.
Sit down! Sit down! Sit down!
You still have to force that crash. You have no choice. He's out of there. And she's out of there. Moms and dads, only a psycho would not have run off. Only a psycho would have stopped and shot. The bottom line is this. If a man like that would use a gun like this, angry because someone forced the car into a crash and then shot him right there in the car seat in front of other people in an intersection where other people are, what would that same man have done at crime scene number 2? That's the very core of bolt and run. Armed intruders are dirtbags. They're the worst of the worst criminals. And when babies are involved, the stakes are even higher and even more difficult for parents. Now watch the beginning.
Someone's at the house. Call the police.
Yes, there's an intruder in my home. Hurry, just get here. He's inside right now.
My baby! Open my baby! Open! Intruder! Oh, God!
This is the bottom line. This family has done the right thing. Number one, they didn't hear a noise wondering what it was. They heard a noise, and in their minds, both of them knew an intruder was in the home. There was no doubt in their mind. She ran to get the baby. It's probably just a natural thing, and it may also have been something planned between the two of them. He was on the phone, remember, right away, calling 911. She made noise. I like panic buttons attached to home alarms. I especially like lights, security lights outside that are attached to the alarms so that when the alarm goes off, the lights flash. Being a cop who's responded to those scenes, it's easier going to a residence with an alarm on when the lights are flashing at that residence because it helps all of us who are responding at high speed to zone in on it. It helps neighbors also. Most important, though, you saw her create additional noise with a shattered window. You tell me, in your neighborhood, in your city, are you almost tuned out to the car alarms and a lot of home alarms? But you're not tuned out to a shattered window, are you? That still gets our attention in this country. And that's why she did it. It also brings noise from this house inside to outside. Let's watch as things get worse.
Open my baby! Intruder!
Grabs the child, yelling. I told you it was going to get worse, folks. They've got her. There's two of them. He's making noise too. You see that, dads?
Shut up! Shut up!
Do as we say, or you, your wife, and your kids will be dead. Now shut up! Get over the police. Get down on the floor.
Get down on the floor. I've heard those exact words from men and women. Ahead of you is a no-retreat position I'll lay out for you. But right now, this man is being told to lie on the floor. The answer is no, because the next thing they're going to do to him is tie him up. Folks, face this fact. Generally, when they tie males up, they drag him into a closet. They drag him into a bathroom. And they begin the raping of the women. And he hears or watches. Let's watch as this dad makes his last stand.
Floor. Look, let's talk. Get on the floor! Don't hurt him. Do you hear me? I'm not getting on the floor. I'm getting on the floor. Okay. Leave her alone! Hey! Look, you can have everything in this house. You can have everything, the car, everything, I don't care. If you harm this woman and my baby child, I won't have anything left to lose. You understand me? Tough guy, huh? Yeah, I'm tough. Believe me, you won't have enough firepower to stop me before I break your neck! Oh, yeah? Yeah, I can do it. I'm gonna do it. Do it. You're awful close. You're close enough. You're closer than you need to be. I've killed like this before in Nam, and I can do it again with pleasure!
No retreat. It may not work all the time. It hasn't worked all the time. But it's his last chance. If this man lets them tie him up, he obviously knows what's ahead. They'll begin the raping. They may begin the stabbing. Moms, dads, whether you're home as a couple or just one of you in the home, Would you want to be tied up in a closet or forced to watch? Or would you rather make your move now? The bottom line is this man right here with a gun on this father, if he's going to shoot this man right now, windows already broken, 9/11 already notified, especially if alarms were going off. If he's going to shoot him right now, I can tell you for a fact he'll shoot him later, after the raping, after the torture of that family. I've been to the aftermath of these scenes. Worse, I've seen what the families are like months later, where intruders had them for a couple of hours. We call them our most important resource, our children, but we sure as hell don't treat them like that, do we? What I mean is, if we were really serious in this country about protecting our children, there are two things we'd start doing, and we'd start doing it right now. Number one, we'd get hard on the men who hurt them, and I mean hard. And number two, as parents, we start giving the time, whatever time it takes, to protect them with role play. On getting hard on the people that have hurt them, I've got this to say, period. I'm not a man for clubs and groups, but I'm telling you, if there's ever been a cause that I could get behind, it would be one to keep those SOBs in prison, period. It shouldn't be 3 strikes, it should be 1. That's it. Folks, is it pretty obvious to you now that protecting our children is a job for us, that it comes down to us, no way out of that. We can clothe them in the latest fashions, provide them with a beautiful home. You can be supportive, nurturing, provide them with love, send them to the best schools, and all of it means 0 if they don't know how to protect themselves against violence. I'm a teacher. In my book, this show, my videos, my job is to give you the tools you need to protect your children. A subject you can do best at home. You've got the tools. Now you've got to give it the time. Thanks for joining me tonight. Good night.